AEW Dynamite was back over 1 million viewers on TBS and was #1 on all of cable Wednesday night with the return of Jon Moxley, back on TV for the first time since October before checking himself into rehab for alcohol addiction. If you look at the before and after photos of Mox when we last saw him compared to the way he looks now, I mean, he leaned out a lot, but his face was so puffed up before and swollen, and now he looks more like Dean Ambrose, but still sounds like Jon Moxley. The first words out of his mouth to a heckler in the audience was, "Go fuck yourself." Chris Jericho is trying so hard to get GFY over as his new catchphrase. He put it on a t-shirt. That's his new t-shirt now. And there's Jon Moxley on his first night back just blurting it out on live TV, uncensored. I love it. That Jericho GFY stuff is very lame. I mean, I know the guy got a scarf over and a plant and a list and the word it, but this is not going to work. But what got Moxley upset was this one douchebag in the crowd who shouted, "Get the garbage truck and get the trash out of the ring." I turned the audio up and listened to it back, and that's what he said. The guy who just missed 3 months after admitting that he had a problem with alcohol is making his first appearance. He's about to bare his soul here and cut what you know is going to be this heartfelt promo. And this half-wit thinks that this would be a great moment to yell something like that. Now, I don't agree that he should have been kicked out or anything like Moxley said he should, and I don't believe he was. But you gotta know when to read the room and just keep your mouth shut. Advice that Bully Ray would have been well served to take. I'll get to him in a moment. When Moxley talked about having a dream about a black cloud hanging over him and the demons chasing after him his whole life. Nobody gets through life unscathed. We all carry scars. Sometimes we try to pretend those scars aren't there, and those are the scars that give us strength. He said nobody is perfect, and if they were, the world would be a very boring place. And he thanked everybody who supported him, said that he's been to hell. There's nobody in AEW who can put him through worse than he's already been through. It was short, it was to the point, it was genuine. He didn't have to tell anybody, except Tony Khan, his boss, what he was really going through at the time. He could have kept it to himself and just taken time off to get better. You know, he comes back looking the way he does, and people start asking questions. He can tell them, well, I was out rehabbing an injury or something. But he chose to tell the truth. So good for him. Maybe him doing that will help somebody else. One thing I did not come away from that promo thinking, and no rational, sane human being would have either, is disappointment that Jon Moxley did not apologize to the fans. One thing I was not waiting on as I watched Moxley come out on Wednesday was, I'm waiting for my apology. Because who in their right mind would come away from that promo thinking the man owed us anything? Bully Ray. That's who. Bully Ray, who we all know loves heat. Oh, he loves heat. He loves heat more than Satan himself. The only man in the world to actually turn the thermostat up in the summertime because it's not hot enough is Bully Ray. On Busted Open Radio Thursday, he and Dave LaGreca were discussing the Moxley promo when Bully chimed in with just a mind-bogglingly stupid take. I mean, there are bad takes, and then there are Bully Ray bad takes. So this is what Brother Ray had to say. They came out with a bang, people were ready for it, and Moxley said what he needed to say. However, I would have liked to have heard just a little bit of accountability from Jon. I understand the whole demons thing, and we always use the word demons as a creative word to get around the real issues. Everybody has some kind of demon that they have to get around. These demons got the best of Jon for a time, where he had to step away from AEW. I would have liked to have heard him say a bit of an apology to the AEW fans. You don't have to apologize to the boys, even though the boys do count on you, but Any one of those guys and gals could have had the same problems that you did, and trust me, I came up in an era where a slew of men and women had their demons. The fans expect a little bit more from you. What about the fans that bought tickets to see AEW and Jon Moxley while Jon was away taking care of his problems? I'm very happy he left and took care of his problem, and he looked incredibly healthy last night, and I love everything he said. I just would have loved to have heard a little bit of accountability. I don't know if I'm sorry is necessarily the right word, but maybe endear yourself a little bit to the crowd if you felt you let them down. Personally, if it was me in the same situation, the first thing I would have said is, guys, I'm sorry if I let you down. I think that would have been the proper thing to do. This was so stupid that I had to listen to the audio twice to make sure that I wasn't missing any context, that I wasn't hearing things that I only thought I was hearing. There is no additional context needed. I can only hope that he is doing this on purpose just to get people talking about his show, and that he doesn't honestly feel that way, because that would make it worse. Jon Moxley does not owe the fans anything. And based on the crowd response in the building, it didn't sound like he needed to endear himself to the crowd any more than he did. Brother Ray talks about accountability. You want to know what accountability is? Accountability is recognizing that you have a problem, and that you have a wife, and you have a newborn at home, and even though you've got a big pay-per-view match coming up, your health and your family is more important than a soap opera on TV. Accountability is checking yourself into rehab and telling your boss, I don't want you to lie for me. Let everybody know where I am. Let them know why I'm there. I got nothing to hide. Now, a lot of people would be ashamed to admit that. He wasn't. That's accountability. He held himself accountable. He was accountable to his family. And who knows, maybe he apologized privately to Tony Khan and the AEW roster. We don't know. But the idea that, I wish Jon Moxley would have held himself accountable to the fans that he screwed over because they bought tickets to see him wrestle and he dared to go get himself cleaned up instead, is truly the dumbest take of the year. And it's only January. We're not even out of the first month of the year yet. And I've already heard the stupidest fucking thing that I've heard in 2022. It's like the idiots who shit on CM Punk when he left WWE because we bought your house. You didn't buy shit. You would have been better off spending that money on your meds. There's a lot of people out there who need them, from what I've seen on social media this week. Bully Ray is a clown. And from this fan, since Bully thought Moxley should be more accountable to you and me, from this fan, he doesn't owe me a damn thing. I'm just happy to see him back and healthy again.